Hey everybody, welcome to the C-Note Audio Extravaganza. This is your host, Mr. Christian Rivera, and you're listening to the show that is kind of like the dead of winter, cold outside, but warm in your heart. Today I have Ron McKnight on the podcast, first episode of working with a guest, which I'm really excited about. I'm excited to have people on to talk about mental health and creating a vision for yourself and finding ways to push forward. Ron works with creating sales funnels and helping coaches specifically to find a way to get new business and do it without being salesy, which is interesting. And he's going to talk a little bit more about it in the podcast. And listen to the intro and then listen to our conversation and give us a call in and let us know what you're thinking about it. Okay, enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to the C-Note Audio Extravaganza. This is episode number 79. Today I wanted to talk about manic productivity. This is not going to be for everybody, but if you've ever experienced, or you're just curious about the illusion of manic productivity, it's, well, sort of an illusion. It's something that actually does kind of happen, but it's also a very important time to track your moods if you're someone who's dealing with any kind of manic episodes, cyclothymia, bipolar 2, things like that. More so something like cyclothymia or bipolar 1, which are a little bit more closer to being controllable. These are times when you start to feel productive, or you're a type of person that is productive during these times. It's important to check yourself and make sure you're not getting too high and get beyond your limit of what you can do. So without further ado, that's what I would like to discuss today. So let's do that. Okay.
Drums, please.
H-I-L-L-Y, north, west, south, west, south side, right, H-I-Y, yeah, now here it is.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the C-Note Audio Extravaganza. This is your host, Mr. Christian Rivera, and you're listening to the show that is like a drunk elf, short and out of his mind. So today I wanted to talk about manic productivity and really kind of break it down into a couple different ways of understanding. One, what it is, what manic or hypomania is. The mood system that I'm kind of working on to sort of track my moods, and then the basically what I'm going through right now, which is why I'm talking about it, because I am starting to get to a place of being extremely just starting to ramp up in my energy level, and my brain chemistry is like, do more, you could do this, you could do all these things, look at all this energy you have, and then you just keep going. So let's start with defining hypomania, because hypomania is more of what I have. Hypomania is the calmer version, which is kind of interesting because you think hypo or hyper, which are two opposites actually, and you'd think it's more mania, but no, hypo is a little bit less. I'm guessing it's a Greek word. I don't really know. I didn't research it, but I'm sure there's something in there having to do with Greek or Latin or something. I don't know. It's always funny when you hear someone be like, it's the Latin term for blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, cool. Whatever. I don't know. I think it's interesting anyway. But hypomania, and the reason I'm a little bit further away is because I'm putting my socks on and it's getting ready for the morning. So I figure while I do that, because I think I'm actually going to step outside today and, I don't know, go to Starbucks instead of just being at home all day. I'm going to come back and do work, but lately my entire days have been spent at home, so I think it'll be nice to just go to Starbucks and kind of have that clean break of like, okay, I come back and now it's time to work, because I got some things I want to do, things I want to accomplish, some seeds I want to plant and get started for stuff for me, but also to help Molly out. We talked about doing stuff for her logo, and I want to kind of do some sketches for her and help her out, because she's been really busy working and working in like an actual job, and really kicking some ass with that, you know, despite jobs not always being thankful for what you do. I'm thankful for what she does, and I want to be able to help her. Anyway, hypomania is pretty much what just happened. I get distracted easily. It's kind of like ADD a little bit. Hypomania is, and this is a non-defined term, and I am not a professional by any means, psychological professional, psychiatric professional, whatever. Hypomania is a sort of enhanced... Oh, my watch is broken. I got to get another one. Hypomania is kind of like a higher state of being. Not really like that. It's more like a higher energy level, kind of a restlessness. It can kind of lead to irritability. It starts out as being productive. It's kind of like walking on a treadmill, and like the treadmill is slowly increasing in speed, but you're not controlling it. It's just continuing to keep going as fast as it can. And at some point, it starts to feel good. It's like, all right, I could do this. I can keep up. Like, I'm jogging. This is comfortable. I'm getting a lot of things done. This feels really good. Yeah, just jogging. Just going. And everything feels great. And then before you know it, it starts going faster, and you're just, all right, I can't keep up. More things are happening. And then your brain starts to like basically sign checks that you can't cash. And the crash comes when you start tripping over your own feet, and you start to realize that you're not able to accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish in a certain time frame. That's kind of an important aspect of it. You kind of set these goals, or at least for me, I set these goals within like a day or 2 days or like a week, or things that I want to get done. And unless those things are satisfied, it's going to keep swirling in your brain and just keep going and going. So finding ways to temper that is important, which is why I want to talk about tracking my moods next. If you've been dying to start that podcast about doves, or about your favorite jacket, or about a long-lost love, or a murder mystery about a cat who murdered everybody, you can start it now on Spotify for podcasters. I've been on Anchor for a long time, and now it is officially Spotify for podcasters, and it has been a platform that has been growing for forever. And I love it, and I still use it to this day, and it has hosted this podcast for 500 plus episodes now. So I highly recommend it. It is free to use. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. I'm literally on my bed recording on my, like the phone is on the bed, and I'm just talking, and it's not that complicated. And then you can distribute your podcast on Spotify and everywhere else that podcasts are heard. So video podcasts are available too if you want to show your pretty face and have people see you. You can do all that too. So just do it. It's totally free. No catch. Give it a try. Spotify for podcasters. Let's go.
Priceline presents Go to Your Happy Price. What's up? It's Kaylee Cuoco. When it comes to travel, we all have a happy place. You can see yourself already there. It's beautiful. It might be sunny and sandy for some, neon and urban for others, deserts or rainforests or hiking trails. With Priceline, you can get to your happy place for a happy price with deals you really can't find anywhere else. Like up to 60% off select hotels to Costa Rica, or 5-star hotels for 2-star prices in Cabo. Go to Priceline.com and travel to your happy place for a happy price. All right, see ya. I'm off to Miami. No, actually, wow, look at that. No, I'm going to Hawaii now. Ooh, Cancun looks nice. You know what? Belize looks pretty nice this time of year. Or, Palm Springs.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
All right, so you're going to hang out with me in the bathroom, which is why it's going to be a little bit echoey. But you're kind of sitting on I have this mirror mount thing for my phone that I use when there's supposed to be... I have a electric toothbrush and I'm supposed to use an app for it. I don't use it, but I still connected the thing here anyway because I think it's still kind of useful when I'm doing stuff like this in the morning. And I just put my phone up and I can just stand here and talk and use both my hands, which is pretty cool because I have to fix my hair before it goes crazy. Man, I got to go to the barber shop. It looked pretty terrible. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about my system that I'm kind of devising to track my moods. And really the thought process behind it, it's really just like a 5-star system, sort of. Not really stars, but it's a number system that I'm using to track how I approach my moods. So it's a 1 through 5 system, and with so 1 is just totally depressed, just complete cliche, classic depressed situation where I'm in bed, I can't move, I can't function, I can't, like, those are the days where you call out of work, or you try to call out of work, and you're unfocused, you're miserable, you could be potentially feeling suicidal thoughts, and really just the absolute lowest state possible. That's what that is. I've been doing this, like, part thing with my hair, because usually I do like a faux hawk situation, but right now it's like it's too long to do that. So I don't know what to do. I get some money tomorrow. I should get some money tomorrow, so I can hit up the barber shop and fix this situation because it's upsetting. I usually, the wintertime is hard because like I usually have my shit together and I'm on a pretty solid schedule, but with some money issues lately, trying to get back up to speed, and all this snow, it's kind of hard to get around, and it's also like 12 degrees outside most of the time these days, so it's gross. Anyway, so yeah, number 1 is super completely depressed. Number 2 is a little bit less than that, more of a functional depression, still feeling pretty low, but you can go to work, you can perform basic functions. I might still have kind of a hard time taking care of myself. I'm going to run some water real quick. Washing my hands. All right. Living the dream. So, yeah, a little bit more functional. A situation where, you're kind of performing at your minimum, sort of. And able to continue to keep going. It's sort of a high-functioning depression, but high-functioning doesn't really mean high-functioning. It means being high-functioning for a depressed person. Number 3 is actually feeling good, like in a good mood, without any kind of manic or depressive effects. It's level. It's feeling not good, not really, it doesn't have to feel good or bad, but it's just not tainted by mania or depression. It's just, you are. You got some good, oh, sorry, that was a really loud noise. My clip thing kind of broke. Well, it didn't break, but it snapped really quickly. So a little bit more normal, and feeling pretty good, feeling like more in control of who you are and where you are. Number 4 is seeping into mania, hypomania a little bit. Your energy level's kind of going up. You're starting to feel kind of like that restless feeling. Your heart rate's going a little bit faster, more consistently. Your brain's kind of moving and swirling. It's a little bit harder to relax. You're starting to feel a little bit more productive, and you're kind of wanting to get into a flow state more often, and it's hard for you to stop, and it's hard for you to pay attention to people and really listen when they're talking. That can be, you kind of get distracted more often. It's more of the ADD phase. And then 5, like legit hypomania, is you're tripping over the treadmill, you are just feeling like too much, you're feeling worthless, you're not getting enough done, you definitely can't focus, you definitely can't listen to anyone. Resting is impossible. Sleep is impossible. Sometimes you can't sleep for days. It's really hard. So those are kind of the differences. And then lastly, I'll just kind of talk about where I'm at. Okay, so where I'm at today is kind of like a 4. Like if kind of a 3 to a 4. Like I feel good. I don't feel like depressed. But an important thing I didn't mention in the tracking part with 4 and 5 is that mania is a form of depression, so you are still feeling the sort of like negative side of it. It's like higher energy, but still negative, still feeling bad, still feeling terrible, but you're kind of using different things to satiate those needs. Like mania itself makes you more susceptible to things like promiscuity or drinking too much, substance abuse, things like that. You kind of get to a point where you're trying to fill. Basically, your endorphins are firing so much that when you get a gap in that, or when things crash, it's a really heavy crash. It just does not feel good at all. And that leads to another form of suicidal thoughts that just kind of stem from like self-worthlessness. So right now, for me, I'm at kind of a 3 or a 4. Like I mostly feel pretty good, kind of dipping into a 4. I'm starting to feel like I'm doing things that make me feel a little bit more productive, but I also see the signs of me overreaching, like thinking too much about the future, things that I want to do, kind of over planning. And the ways that I temper that are to make sure to give myself breaks to slow down, basically not let myself become dependent on the constant endorphin rush that comes with planning and being excited. Because when you can't fulfill those needs, that's when the crash starts. So I need to basically just kind of manage that, which is why I'm not immediately jumping into doing work stuff. Like I'm going to go to Starbucks, get me some tea and some water, listen to music along the way, and just kind of try to relax more. Meditation would probably be good, though it's not really my jam. More for me is like listening to an album. That allows me to kind of like completely disconnect from work or what I'm doing. So basically something like that. Something that allows you to be present, so that you're not constantly swirling is a really good way to approach that. And that's basically what I've been doing. So that's why I'm allowing myself the room to do that. I've been downloading some games on my 3DS so I can play some games and focus on that. And actually being productive is good. It helps. You know, you can get 1 or 2 things done, but making sure that you're just, again, not overreaching. Like I started to plan all of these podcasts that I wanted to do, and I was like, oh, I could do 2 a day, 3 a day, and record them and save them for the future. And I did the 1, and I was exhausted because I underestimated my sort of social anxiety and the energy drain that comes with that much communication. So I had to readjust. I'm doing another interview today that's going to be posted next week, but I think after this week, because I think I have one scheduled for Friday as well to record, I'm just going to record them once a week with the new guest, maybe a week in advance, and be able to give myself room to breathe so that I'm not constantly rushing, because I have all these ideas to like buy a domain and put links to like where you can get my podcast on the domain and do all these crazy things. I still have to work on my parents' website. I have to finish this video that I'm doing. I got to check my Facebook ad that wasn't approved. I have to check, and I have 3 social media accounts that I'm managing, and we're trying to get more clients too. So there's a lot of things going on, but I have to make sure to do enough of those things to feel satisfied with them, but also temper the expectations as well. So that's where I'm at. You know, it's tricky to define, again, that mood system, because it's not necessarily like I go from a 1 to a 2 to a 3 to a 4. Like sometimes I go from a 4 to a 2, or a 4 to a 1, or a 1 or 2 to a 5. Usually it's more of a build from a 4 to a 5. You don't really jump from a 1 to a 5, but you can jump from a 5 to a 1. So it's kind of tricky and hard to explain, but that's what I'm kind of working on and working through. And I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves and keep at it. Hey everybody, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Seed Audio Extravaganza. If you would like to go to HiMyNameIsChristian.com, you can sign up for my newsletter, where you'll get the written version of the podcast, and follow me on Rival My Design on all the social channels and all that good stuff. We can chat and have ourselves a jolly good time, whoever it is that I am. So I really appreciate it. And thank you guys. I hope you have a good one.